This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly.
We have always said it is about the children. It's not just about me. Never just made it about me. I'm just the loudest one.
It's the kind of headline that stops you in your tracks. Oprah Winfrey, the queen of daytime television and one of the most powerful women in the world, is reportedly under the scrutiny of federal investigators. Yes, Oprah, the same cultural icon who gave us tearful celebrity interviews, life-changing car giveaways, and a billion-dollar media empire. But now rumors are swirling that the FBI has obtained a warrant in connection to her alleged involvement in Sean Diddy Combs' controversial lifestyle, which has already landed him in jail. And here's the kicker. Sources claim Oprah could be arrested by the end of the week.
Not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
No one wants him mentioned.
So, how did we get here? For years, Oprah has been a beacon of inspiration, a symbol of success, and the ultimate media darling. But as Diddy's legal troubles unravel, dragging Hollywood's elite into the spotlight, it seems Oprah's carefully curated image might not be as untouchable as it once seemed. Let's dig into what we know so far, starting with the shocking rumors surfacing about her alleged ties to Diddy's infamous parties.
So I'm telling you right now, a lot of people don't want to get it. There's enough of you to do something, anything. And there's so many of you able to get loud.
Diddy's arrest in September sent shockwaves through the industry. Accusations of coercion, manipulation, and elaborate gatherings designed to control and exploit attendees began to dominate headlines. But the story doesn't stop with Diddy. Insiders have suggested that these events weren't just about him, they were about a network of powerful figures who knew how to keep secrets. And now, whispers are pointing to Oprah as someone who might have known far more than she ever let on. According to sources close to the investigation, Diddy maintained a so-called dark list, a record of prominent individuals who attended or supported his events. This list, reportedly seized during a raid on one of Diddy's properties, includes names that would make anyone in Hollywood sit up and pay attention. And here's where it gets interesting. Oprah's name is said to be among them. If this is true, it raises serious questions about what she knew when she knew it, and whether her involvement was more than just casual attendance at glamorous gatherings.
A U.S. judge has ruled that the rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs will stand trial on federal trafficking and racketeering charges in May. He'll be held in prison until then. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he used his business empire to transport women and male workers across state lines to take part in recorded performances. If convicted, he could face a life sentence.
Let's pause for a moment. Oprah Winfrey, the same woman who built her empire on empowerment and transparency, connected to this. It seems almost unthinkable. But the rumors don't stop there. Some sources claim that Oprah wasn't just a guest at these events, she may have played a more active role. Speculation is swirling that she helped facilitate connections, using her influence to support Diddy's endeavors while maintaining her spotless public image. Could it be that Oprah's rise to the top came with compromises she never wanted the public to see?
At the end of the day, just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
Let's not forget Oprah's reputation as a master networker. For decades, she's been at the center of Hollywood's most exclusive circles, rubbing shoulders with the likes of Harvey Weinstein, Tyler Perry, and other key power players. Her ability to connect with influential figures has always been one of her greatest strengths, but it's also what makes these allegations so troubling. If Oprah really was aware of what was happening at Diddy's gatherings, it casts a new light on her alliances and raises questions about how far she was willing to go to protect her own interests. The timing of all this is particularly fascinating. Just as Diddy's legal troubles reached a boiling point, Oprah's name began surfacing in connection to these events. Some insiders believe that Diddy himself may have provided information to investigators in an attempt to secure a deal for his own case. If true, this would mean Oprah's alleged involvement isn't just speculation, it's part of an official investigation, and that's where things get even messier.
Now, to the latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here?
Let's consider what might have prompted the FBI's interest in Oprah. For years, Diddy's parties were whispered about in Hollywood as being more than just lavish celebrations. They were said to be secretive, exclusive, and, according to some accounts, designed to create leverage over attendees. Hidden cameras, non-disclosure agreements, and strict rules about phones and photos were all reportedly part of the setup. If Oprah attended these gatherings, it's possible she was aware of the environment or even benefited from it. After all, maintaining relationships with powerful figures can be a strategic move in an industry where alliances mean everything.
Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
But what if Oprah's involvement goes deeper than mere attendance? Some sources have hinted that she may have used her influence to protect Diddy and others in his circle. This isn't the first time Oprah's alliances have raised eyebrows. Remember her close relationship with Harvey Weinstein, another Hollywood heavyweight whose downfall revealed the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry. While Oprah publicly condemned Weinstein after the allegations against him became impossible to ignore, her initial silence and past support didn't go unnoticed.
Have y'all spoke after this?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't have anything against Oprah.
You just called her a
I'm gonna tell you why.
You named your dog Oprah, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Let's not forget the famous photo Oprah kissing Weinstein on the cheek at an event, a moment that has since been dissected and criticized. Critics like Rose McGowan have accused Oprah of aligning herself with powerful men to preserve her own status, even at the expense of others. McGowan didn't mince words when she called Oprah as fake as they come, alleging that the media mogul's support of the Me Too movement was nothing more than a PR move. Could there be a pattern here? Oprah's past controversies don't stop with Weinstein. Her connections to figures like Russell Simmons, who faced his own set of allegations, have also come under scrutiny. And then there's the scandal involving her South African school for girls, which was rocked by accusations of misconduct and abuse. While Oprah claimed to be devastated by the situation, critics questioned how such issues could have occurred under her watch. Is it possible that Oprah's empire, built on a foundation of empowerment and trust, has cracks that are only now coming to light?
Every time she made a mention to hip-hop culture, it was something that was wrong with it. And it was something that was on my CD that was the largest debut in hip-hop album.
As investigators dig deeper into Diddy's network, it's becoming clear that this isn't just about him. His downfall is exposing a web of relationships that could implicate some of Hollywood's most untouchable figures. Oprah's name on Diddy's alleged list has sparked a wave of speculation, with insiders suggesting that her presence at these events wasn't just coincidental. Could she have been complicit in creating an environment where power dynamics were exploited for personal gain?
I think it's to be expected, just the shock of this and the questions about what is ahead of us. I mean, how long is he going to be in custody? Is this an R. Kelly situation? Is he going to not get out for a number of years? Is he going to end up serving a long-term prison sentence from this? Or does he have a chance of beating these charges at a trial that could come, within the next 2 years?
And let's talk about the whispers surrounding Diddy's so-called insurance policy, a trove of recordings and documents allegedly kept to protect himself. Some reports claim these materials include compromising information about high-profile attendees at his events. If Oprah's name appears in these records, it could explain why the FBI is so interested in her connection to Diddy. The idea that Oprah, the queen of daytime television, might have been caught up in such a scheme is almost too surreal to believe.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
But let's not forget that Hollywood is no stranger to secrets. For years, the industry has operated on a code of silence, where powerful figures protect one another to maintain their status. The revelations about Diddy and Oprah suggest that this code is starting to break. More and more insiders are coming forward, sharing details that paint a picture of an industry where influence is currency and morality often takes a backseat. It's worth noting that not everyone is convinced Oprah is guilty of anything more than bad judgment. Some argue that her presence at Diddy's events doesn't necessarily mean she was aware of any wrongdoing. After all, Hollywood parties are known for their glitz and glamour, and attending one doesn't automatically make someone complicit in everything that happens there. But the allegation suggests something far more serious, a level of involvement that goes beyond casual attendance.
It's a question of that, but when you read through the indictment, it's pretty clear who could be indicted as a co-conspirator. Right now, there are people in the indictment who would be considered unnamed co-conspirators, but clearly have played a role in this conspiracy. And I think prosecutors have some big leverage on them because they're hoping that they testify against Diddy as prosecution witnesses.
And then there's the question of motive. Why would Oprah, with her billion-dollar empire and untouchable reputation, risk it all by associating with someone like Diddy? Some speculate that it's about power-maintaining alliances with influential figures to secure her own position in the industry. Others believe it's simply a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Either way, the fact that her name is being mentioned in the same breath as Diddy's legal troubles is enough to raise eyebrows. As the investigation unfolds, it's clear that this story is far from over. The idea of Oprah being arrested, let alone involved in such a scandal, feels almost unimaginable. And yet, the rumors persist, fueled by a mix of insider accounts, circumstantial evidence, and the undeniable fact that Diddy's downfall is dragging others down with him. Could Oprah be the next domino to fall? Or will she emerge from this unscathed, her empire intact and her reputation as one of Hollywood's most beloved figures preserved? What's certain is that the FBI's interest in Oprah has sent shockwaves through the industry. If these allegations are proven true, it could mark a turning point not just for her, but for Hollywood as a whole. The days of secrets and silence may be coming to an end, replaced by a new era of accountability and transparency. But for now, all eyes are on Oprah as the world waits to see how this story unfolds.
But if there is one, can you read between the lines? There's a call from the prisons. Someone thinks that they have a green light on us that they don't even know what they're talking about.
Let's pick up where we left off because this is where things really start to unravel. The deeper you dig into Oprah's history and her connections, the more you realize the cracks. In her carefully crafted public image, for years Oprah has been the untouchable queen of media, but as more allegations surface, it seems her empire might not be as squeaky clean as we thought. And with Diddy's legal troubles taking center stage, the spotlight is slowly shifting toward her past, and it's not looking good. From long-standing controversies to accusations of hypocrisy, Oprah's public persona is being called into question like never before.
Bullies in this business. And the bullies are so used to being bullies, they don't understand when somebody bite back.
Right.
And not bark back, they bite back.
Right. To understand how Oprah got here, we need to rewind the clock and take a closer look at her history of questionable associations. Let's start with Harvey Weinstein. For decades, Oprah and Weinstein were practically inseparable at industry events. Photos of them laughing together, hugging, and whispering in each other's ears are all over the internet. At the time, it didn't seem like a big deal. Weinstein was one of the most powerful movie producers in Hollywood, and Oprah was the reigning queen of daytime television. But when the allegations against Weinstein exploded in 2017, suddenly those photos felt a lot more unsettling. The public began asking, how much did Oprah really know? After all, she wasn't just anyone in Hollywood, she was Oprah. She had access to the same circles, the same gossip, and the same insiders who had been whispering about Weinstein's behavior for years. Rose McGowan, one of Weinstein's most outspoken accusers, didn't hold back when she called out Oprah's silence. "I wish she were real, but she isn't," McGowan said in a scathing statement, accusing Oprah of supporting a power structure that allowed predators like Weinstein to thrive. And while Oprah eventually spoke out against Weinstein, her initial hesitation left a bad taste in people's mouths.
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the shoe have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there.
But Weinstein wasn't the only controversial figure Oprah seemed to have aligned herself with. Let's not forget her association with Russell Simmons, the music mogul who faced his own tidal wave of accusations. Oprah initially supported a documentary about Simmons' accusers, but she later pulled out, citing creative differences. The move sparked outrage, with critics accusing her of backing down under pressure from powerful friends. It's moments like these that make you wonder, was Oprah more concerned with protecting her relationships than standing up for what's right? And then there's the infamous South African school scandal. Back in 2007, Oprah opened a prestigious academy for underprivileged young women in South Africa, a move that was widely praised at the time. But within months, the school was engulfed in controversy when allegations of misconduct against a dormitory matron surfaced. The accusations were shocking, and while Oprah publicly expressed her devastation and vowed to overhaul the school's leadership, it raised serious questions about her judgment. How could something like this happen under her watch? Critics argued that Oprah, despite her good intentions, had failed to ensure the safety of the very girls she claimed to be helping.
Understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. And now there's talk about putting him in, it's like a bubble. It's like a cell that has like a plexiglass wall in it where they have inmates watching you. That's actually their job, to keep an eye on the inmates that are on watch.
These incidents paint a picture of a woman whose actions don't always match her words. On one hand, Oprah has built her brand on being a voice for the voiceless, a champion for justice, and a beacon of hope. But on the other hand, her alliances and decisions suggest a pattern of prioritizing power and influence over accountability. And that brings us back to the present, where her name is now being linked to Diddy's alleged misconduct. Could this be the moment when Oprah's carefully constructed empire finally starts to crumble?
Let that be a lesson to all the bullies. May it be in comedy, may it be in wherever. You never know who you step into.
Diddy's legal troubles have already sent shockwaves through Hollywood, but the allegations against him are only part of the story. What's really fascinating is how his downfall is pulling back the curtain on the entertainment industry as a whole. For years, Diddy was known for throwing extravagant parties that attracted the biggest names in music, film, and business. These weren't just any parties, they were exclusive, secretive, and, according to some insiders, downright disturbing. Guests were reportedly required to sign non-disclosure agreements, and it's been rumored that the events were monitored by hidden cameras. The question now is, how many of Hollywood's elite would really going on behind closed doors?
Some people do think that Diddy can help him, but this guy's going to be locked up forever. His case will probably take at least 3 years to litigate. He'll stay at MDC. There's rumors that he wants to go to Essex County Jail in New Jersey because he doesn't like MDC. He's a Marshals inmate. There's no way they're going to transfer him back and forth, I don't know, several times a week.
According to sources, Diddy kept meticulous records of his events, including a so-called dark list of high-profile attendees. This list reportedly includes actors, musicians, and yes, even media moguls like Oprah. If these rumors are true, it raises serious questions about what role these attendees played. Were they simply there for the glitz and glamour, or were they complicit in something far more sinister? And more importantly, why hasn't anyone spoken out until now? One theory is that Diddy used these events to gather leverage over his guests. The hidden cameras, the strict non-disclosure agreements, it all points to a system designed to protect him while keeping everyone else in line. If Oprah was part of this inner circle, it's not hard to imagine why she might have stayed silent. After all, protecting her reputation has always been a top priority. But with the FBI reportedly zeroing in on Diddy's network, staying silent might no longer be an option. What's particularly interesting is how this scandal is forcing people to re-examine Oprah's other relationships. Take, for example, her long-standing friendship with Tyler Perry. On the surface, their partnership has always seemed positive. They've collaborated on projects, supported each other publicly, and built a shared empire of Black excellence in Hollywood. But some critics are now questioning whether Perry's success has come at a cost. Like Oprah, Perry has faced accusations of exploiting his power, particularly when it comes to how he portrays certain communities in his work. Could it be that Perry and Oprah's relationship is more transactional than it appears?
Tell her.
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments.
And let's not forget the whispers about Oprah's connections to other controversial figures. Some have pointed out that she was photographed with Jeffrey Epstein on multiple occasions, photos that have taken on a much darker meaning in the wake of his highly publicized scandals. While there's no concrete evidence linking Oprah to any wrongdoing, the mere association is enough to raise eyebrows. After all, she's built her brand on being a trusted figure, someone who's always on the right side of history. But as these connections come to light, it's becoming harder to reconcile her public image with the company she's kept. What makes all of this even more compelling is the timing. Diddy's arrest has opened a Pandora's box of secrets, and it feels like Hollywood's power players are starting to turn on each other. Insiders have hinted that Diddy might be cooperating with investigators, potentially naming names in exchange for a lighter sentence. If Oprah's name is on that list, it could explain why the FBI is reportedly interested in her. And if Diddy really does have recordings or documents that implicate her, it's only a matter of time before those come to light.
Getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over.
But here's the thing, Oprah isn't just any celebrity. She's an institution, a brand, and a role model for millions of people around the world. If these allegations gain traction, the fallout could be catastrophic not just for her, but for the entire entertainment industry. It's not just about one person, it's about a system that has allowed powerful figures to operate with impunity for far too long. And as more names emerge, it's clear that this is bigger than Diddy, bigger than Oprah, and bigger than any one scandal.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories.
So where does that leave us? Right now, it feels like we're on the brink of something huge. The FBI's investigation is still ongoing, and every day seems to bring new revelations. Hollywood's elite are scrambling to protect themselves, scrubbing social media accounts, issuing vague statements, and distancing themselves from their former allies. But as the walls close in, it's becoming increasingly clear that no one is untouchable, not even Oprah. What's fascinating is how this moment is forcing a reckoning not just for individuals, but for the industry as a whole. For years, Hollywood has operated on a code of silence where the powerful protect their own and the vulnerable are left to fend for themselves. But as the allegations against Diddy and now Oprah continue to make headlines, it feels like that code is finally breaking. People are speaking out, sharing their stories, and demanding accountability. And while it's still unclear how this will all play out, one thing is certain: Hollywood will never be the same. As we wait for the next chapter in this unfolding drama, one question hangs in the air: what will Oprah do? Will she address the rumors head-on, or will she continue to rely on her reputation to weather the storm? And more importantly, how will her audience react? For decades, Oprah has been a symbol of hope, resilience, and empowerment. But as more details come to light, it's becoming harder to ignore the contradictions in her story. Could this be the beginning of the end for one of Hollywood's most beloved icons? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this unfolding saga. The truth might just be stranger than fiction. Stay tuned.